Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the shed. It's deadline day. I can't make my mind up. Okay, we've got a couple of hours. Hello, Big Nose Monkey. Welcome to the stream, Raneel. How you doing, mate? Mate, stick around. Give us some advice. Second in our league. Help us out here, will you? Because I haven't got a clue what to do. Right, first thing, sip of the old coffee. It's match day. Check out that bad boy. Oh, dreams. Number 9 for Everton. Whoa. Right, what are we doing then? Oh, so, if you weren't on late last night, I'm currently on 2 options for drafts, but I'm just trying to think what I can do. I've got a couple of things I'm going to do. Let's have a look at content for the show as it, save tweet. I need to send that. Didn't send me tweet. Oh dear. Right. That's a good start, isn't it? Unsent tweets. Here we go. That's the one. Can we send it? Send. And there's the list of what we're going to look at during today's show. I'm going to line up some players and sort of like compare them. First thing I'm going to do is, because I don't know who to remove from my team to raise the funds. If I'm going to remove anybody at the end of the day, to be totally honest with you. But yeah, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my team, if that's okay with you guys. Ask your questions away while you're watching. But hopefully while I'm looking at my team, we're all pretty much looking at the same sort of things. It might be a help. So I'm going to compare my premium players. So I'm going to be comparing Haaland versus Salah versus Fernandes versus Harry Kane, how they've been doing. Then I'm going to have a look and see what their predicted points are for the coming weeks, because I feel like if I'm going to I might even include Kieran Trippier in that. I don't know. But these are my players for raising the funds. What do you think of Captain March as currently behind in mini leagues by 50 plus points? I think it's possibly the differential punt. Captaincy punt out of them all. I think Matoma and Tony are first choices, the Sweeney, but it is a flip of a coin which one delivers. I wholeheartedly believe that this game week, for those 3 Brighton mids, obviously we can try and choose which one we think's best, but when you're narrowing it down to 1 game week, it's a tricky situation to be going for. But there's a double game week, I suppose. I don't think it's the worst shout in the world if you're looking to catch up. Is there going to be Liverpool leaks? I don't know, mate, to be honest with you. I don't know. Possibly. Fairly big club. Does happen from time to time. Oh, new subscriber, the Sweeney. Thanks for subscribing, mate. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to join the league in the description below. The code is there. You get to win this bad boy if you are the one who really loves it at the end of the season. Right. So, straight into team then. Come on. The first thing I'm going to do is bring up FPL Factory. I like this one because it's good for play. Is it FPL Factory? Good for player comparison. You can line 4 players up next to each other, and it'll just show you with a little green box who's been doing best. So here we go. These are the players I want. Haaland, add, Kane, add, Salah, add, and then Fernandes is the other one I want. Is he just there? There we go. Happy days. Now I haven't done this at all yet, so on the fly. Let's see so total points. Let's do this in the last. I want to see the last. I suppose we can go last 10 game weeks now, because that's since the World Cup. So minutes there or thereabouts. So they're all guaranteed their minutes pretty much. Obviously, City have had a double in the middle of all that. How's the volume, by the way? I'm just trying to fine-tune and make things a little bit better. So I've pushed the microphone slightly further away, knowing that I've got quite a big mouth. I can get quite excited about things. So, straight away we see bonus points. Fernandez wins that one. ICT index. Fernandez right at the top of it. Influence. Okay, let's have a look down here. So, goals, it's Erling Haaland. People jumping off Erling Haaland. What do we think about that? Let's start a poll. Start a poll. What should we call it? Cash in on Haaland. And then in brackets, short term. Because it can't be anything other than that. The only thing I think about short term is sometimes it's so hard to get the player back in. I'm still struggling to get Luke Shaw back in since game week 23. Because other things have been more important. Cash in on Haaland, short term, yes or no? Simple one. Let's get that one out there. The expected goals in the last 10 game weeks has been much higher for Erling Haaland. Total shots on target, Erling Haaland over Fernandez. Penalties scored, 1 each. Interestingly, I did do 10 game weeks, didn't I? In the last 10 game weeks, not one penalty for Kane or Salah. Does that mean they're due a penalty? Haaland's ace in all those stats. Creativity. I think unsurprisingly, Bruno Fernandes tops that one by a country mile. A country mile, 6.2. 27% passes in the penalty area. So where Haaland's all about the goals, Bruno's all about the assists. And the other two are sort of just in the middle, with Salah higher on the expected assist. Expected goals, similar for Harry Kane and Mo Salah. Same for total shots on target. Defence, clean sheets, doesn't really matter apart from between Salah and Fernandez, and it's there or thereabouts. 1 extra point to Mo Salah in that department. All these tackles, this is why he's getting all the bonus points. Blocks, tackles, interceptions, way above everybody else in that department. Miscontrols, 36 from Salah, more than any other player. That's interesting. That's interesting. And then their upcoming fixtures. This, by the way, FPLfactory.com is in the description below. Part of my FPL toolkit for you guys to use to your, as you like, basically. They've all got good fixture this week. That's the problem. This is where my problem lies. Every single one of those is a good fixture. Isn't it? The next week, there's only Harry Kane with a fixture. And Salah has a double, but it's Man City and Chelsea. Bruno, Newcastle and Brentford. And then Haaland's up against Liverpool. So in all seriousness, I think Harry Kane's the only... Is he the only guy? Nottingham Forest at home? Can't look past that, can you? Which one of these do you ditch? What are your thoughts, guys? Which one of these do you use to raise funds, or do we go looking elsewhere? Do we go looking elsewhere? Let's have a look into the comments. The Sweeney, you sound like you're from near me, Chester. Hey, mate. That's just outside, mate, just in Eastham. I was working in Chester last year. No one can ever pinpoint my accent, so that's quite That's quite unnerving, to be honest with you. I used to own the Yacht Mate restaurant just outside Chester, if you know it at all, Sweeney. Theon 2N, would you take a minus 12-16 hit for Armstrong to Kane? Armstrong to Kane. Fernandez to Matoma. Ake to Estupinian. Shaw to Henry. Bueno to Botman. Everson to Steele. For minus 12-16. I think if you go in that far into it, mate, have you hit your wildcard button? Because if not, maybe it's wildcard time if you're looking at doing that many transfers. Kane or Fernandez? See, Kane's got a great fixture. Fernandez, I like as I'm just discussing. I really don't want to get rid of Fernandez. He looked again great midweek. At the centre of everything. He's got a point to prove. So I'd consider, if you haven't used your wild card, Theo, use your wild card for that meant for, I mean, minus 16's pushing it. But our highest gained net transfer points in the league last week took a minus 8 to get there and ended up getting more transfer net points out of it. I think it was like 21 in the end. So yeah, that would be my thing. But the players you're thinking about, like Kane, I think is a good player to have in. I don't like getting rid of Fernandez, but I do like Matoma. I think if I had to choose between the two this game week, it possibly would be. It could be either 50-50. Ake to Estupinian, yeah, I like that transfer. Shaw to Henry, maybe. Shaw's up against Southampton and then he's got a double game week in 29, so I'm not a massive fan of that one, to be honest with you. Plus I'm looking to bring Shaw back in for 29, so that is just my opinion. Bueno to Botman, yeah, no problem with that. Everson to Steele, no problem with that one either, mate. So those are my thoughts. Anybody else wants to jump in on that, then please do feel free. Aritravo, howdy, my good friend. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Merseyside. Any leaks on the Liverpool games? Let us know, sir. Ranil, I know it's crazy to think about, but might get rid of Haaland for the next 3 or 4 game weeks. It is a crazy one, isn't it? But Palace away, how good a fixture is that? How did they do against Palace earlier in the season? Can't remember. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. As you can see, this is how I'm lining up at the moment. Still got 2 transfers in the bank. How did they get on against Palace? 4-2 home victory. 17 points he got against Palace. Haaland. I think that was the moment we knew we had an absolute beast on our hands. He's actually been fairly quiet comparatively. It actually makes more sense. Luca de Gabriel, welcome to the stream, Luca. Hi, mate. Would you bench boost on game week 27 or game week 29? My bench is currently Kepa, Odegaard, Botman, and Gabriel. And my 11 is Raya, Trips, me, Estupi, Saka, Rashford, March, Matoma, Tony, Haaland, and Kane. I think the bench boost for me is a chip that you use when you feel you've just got the fixtures. If you've got good fixtures this week, with those, which is Odegaard against Fulham, not guaranteed to start. Botman up against Wolves, good fixture. Gabriel up against Fulham, good fixture. Kepa on the bench up against Leicester away. Yes. Chelsea have got a double in the following in 29 of Newcastle. Have Newcastle got a double in 29? Can't think now. No, so Newcastle don't have the double in 29, so you're gaining an extra goalkeeping game in 29. But that's about it. Arsenal aren't on a double then either. I think you've got fairly good fixtures this week, to be honest with you. Only one I'd say Kepa might not get you the return you want up against Leicester away. Might not. That might be... I'm a bit like... Should I transfer him to Steele, to be honest with you? Or Everson, my sub-goalkeeper. So, basically... I'm planning to do my bench boost in game week 29 at this minute in time. That's my personal plan. I'm going to have a look at my... Just go through the next through comments, and then I'll go and look at my 2 drafts that I came up with last night. Hope that helps, Luca. If anybody else wants to help out, then please do. Ranil, 3 to 4 game weeks, yeah. Cash in and Haaland, 28s make more sense. It does, yeah. I just don't know who you go to next game week. When you look at the fixtures in 28... Which fixtures would people target in game week 28? I mean, you'd say Arsenal, but I think most of us are on triple Arsenal already anyway. Chelsea maybe against Everton, but who? Which players at Chelsea are you sacrificing Haaland for anyway? Wolves, Leeds could go either way. Southampton, Spurs. Southampton at home. You'd expect Spurs to be doing Harry Kane maybe, but I think most people have already got him. Brentford, Leicester, Villa, Bournemouth. These are all close fixtures for me. Tough to call. Forest at home on a Friday night at the City Ground. Expect they could possibly get a good result there. Tough fixtures to call next week. Right, let's have a look. Yashpal, welcome, my friend. I would have 3 players not playing in next game week. Should I take -8 to solve that problem for next game week? If it improves your fixtures this week and it's going to solve that problem for next week game week, then yes. Just don't bring in players for the sake of it. Do you think they will return this week or next game week is what I would say. Because if they're not, then what's the point? Yao, I won't trade Haaland. Too much invested in him. Actually, very good point. Very good point. When I look at the Haaland, for example, look at his information. I purchased him at 11.5 million. And he's currently 12.2, so I only get 11.8. So I'm going to find an extra 0.4 million if I want to bring him back in a couple of weeks. How does that compare with the others? Well, Harry Kane, I've decided, because he's playing next week, isn't one to go. I still keep coming back to Salah. If I'm going to sell anyone, it's Salah. Because if I want to bring anybody in, I want to bring Tony in. That is the player I want to bring in. And I've got the 2 transfers to do that and have a formation change. The only thing is then I end up taking 2 players out of my team and I have to leave Odegaard on the bench. Let's have a look at the drafts I've got. So I've got 2 drafts that I'm currently contemplating. Odegaard won't start, right? I don't know, Yashpal. I think he will, to be honest, is my gut feeling. Okay, noted with thanks. You're more than welcome, Luca. Don't forget to join the league in the description below, mate. So, draft 1. Let's have a look at 27. This is the one I've gone with first, and it's actually quite a boring one. In that I've literally just used one transfer, 0.1 million in the bank. Let's have a look at this. Haaland, cash in on Haaland. 38% yes, 62% saying no. Let's end that poll there. And I'm going to start another poll now based on the 2 drafts I'm about to show you. Which plan should I go for? And I want to know, should I go for plan 1? Or plan 2? Okay, now, so plan one. So my transfer would be Everson to Steele, and then Steele. Kepa goes on the bench, which just goes to show my confidence in Kepa this week. If that sort of answers a question to somebody, I think it was Luca earlier. And Steele comes in for 2 games. And I think that, let's have a look in terms of predicted points. What does that do to the team? See, interestingly, I've got a higher predicted points with Kepa in goal. I mean, this is just a little bit of a guide. I don't really go with it massively. Then with Steele in goal, that's interesting. So Steele not, maybe Steele, according to this platform, just isn't expected to start. So maybe that's just an added bonus. And arguably, he's got better fixtures. Arguably. And that would be it for this game week. Unless I suppose I cashed in on... I'm not cashing in on Kane. I don't want to cash in on Haaland. That would be it. That would be it. But that would then take me, and this is why I like this, because I can see how that leaves me for next week's blank and the following double game week. That then takes me into next week with 2 transfers. And the 2 transfers I could take that week. Obviously, injuries and stuff like that. But I could then bring in Maddison and Tony. And that would then leave me with just 2 players, because I would swap Kepa for Steele. Swap that over now. Is it just going to swap? No, Steele for Kepa in the following game week. With only 1 player missing from my team. No hits taken, still got £1 million in the bank. Okay, and then that takes me into game week 29 looking like this. It leaves me with, I had £1 million in the bank, so I was able to upgrade Bueno to Estupinian for the double game week. Tarkowski, Tottenham at home. Kane, Steele. I've got 2 goalkeepers playing double game weeks. I think that's a fairly strong bench boost. Tarkowski at home is probably the most tricky of those. Yeah, I'd start Steele. I don't have him in my team as yet. It'd only be if I do this transfer. But Steele, I think, is a better option than Kepa and does improve my team, which is what I'm looking to do. I'm worried about weakening my team and taking out players that I really don't want to. But I'm also worried on the other side, holding on to players for too long when I should be optimising my squad with double game week players, particularly in the attacking third. It can sort of like make your season as well, can't they? But when I look at that, when I look at the fixtures, Crystal Palace, Forest, Bournemouth away. It was 9-0 last time, Liverpool-Bournemouth. Albeit it was at Anfield. Can they do a similar sort of thing away? And remember, Mo didn't get on the score sheet against them, and you'd imagine he's still miffed about that. And after his performance last week, who's to say he can't go and get, grab a hatful down at Bournemouth? Early kickoff. Although they say never back the early kickoff, don't they? That's always said. Right, I need some nicotine. Excuse me. Where's my puffer? Is that my battery? Oh, if I put my spare battery down, let's find out in a second. So yeah, in a little bit of a quandary. Oh, notifications. Anybody sent me some messages? Ah, James P, you're Yow. Ah, nice one, mate. Nice one. Man United fan. Give you a like. Aritravo, liking and retweeting my stuff. Thank you very much. Anybody else wants to join in on that and try and build a community, that would be very much appreciated. So yeah, I really don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. What does that make me look like? 29. So that's one option anyway. That's one option. Look at that. Predicted point 122. That's with a bench for a bench boost. Right. And I think Tony has got better fixtures. Imagine they're both away again. Both Brentford's double game weeks. Both away fixtures. 4 away fixtures. 4 away fixtures. How did Brentford fare away from home? Let's have a look at Tony. How does Tony fare away from home? History. Away. Drawn with Arsenal. Drawn with Leeds. 0-0. Goal against Arsenal. West Ham. Away 2-0. Goal and an assist. 2 goals against City. Away at Villa, losing. Away at Newcastle, losing. Away at Arsenal, loss. Oh, sorry, away at Bournemouth, draw 0-0. See, I've been trolled by Tony once this season already. I sold him before his hat-trick, before he sent out that tweet saying, how you like me now, FPL managers. So I have been trolled on that front. Okay, brings me to my next draft anyway, because that's the first one. I think that's the slightly more conservative, not so much attacking the double game weeks, possibly looking more towards the preserving my team, I suppose, that I've sort of built up. And sacrificing Salah along the way, basically. That's next game week, but keeping him for Bournemouth this week. That keeps me Salah for Bournemouth, basically. Okay, let's have a look at the other draft. I think this one's a little bit more attacking. Attacking the game week. Yeah, the week I captained Tony, he picked up his 5th yellow. I refused to get him. I got him Buemo instead. Fair enough, mate. It's horrible when a player hurts you, but it is sometimes it can come back and bite you on the bum, can't it? That you, that you so refuse to bring them in for that very reason. I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. So this one, basically, I sell Salah. I say Liverpool have been rubbish away this season. Well, not as good as they have at home. Salah's had a massive haul last week. Is he going to get another one again this week? Whilst it's possible, it hasn't happened for him so far this season. Let's go and have a look. See how many back-to-back double digits Salah's had this season. He hasn't. That was the closest. 2 game weeks apart. Although one was away to Tottenham, one was away to Villa. So he can do it away as well at home. 12, 10. He's only had 4, 5 double-digit returns. And then his biggest return of the season, last game week. Scored in the week before. He's had a good run. He's on a good run, actually, to be fair. So is he in great form? Liverpool are in good form. But then the fixtures, well, no fixture next week, and then Man City away the following game week. Right, let's have a look at the people currently voting for Plan 1. Let's finish looking at Plan 2. So that would be basically, I'll be selling Salah and I'll be using the funds to bring in McAllister, or could be March, depends how I swing before the end of the before deadline. And then Tony as bringing him in and making him as the captain. The predicted points are much higher, so it's sort of like an extra 18, I think, predicted points based on this website. And it just feels a little bit more, it feels safer, shall we say. I think there's a fear of missing out. It does feel safer. But it's safer optimal. It's safer optimal. That's the question. I've lost my battery. Hold on a second. I took a battery out of my pocket for me vague. There we go. Here's one. Now let's try this one. So that would be this week. Anyway, so how does that leave me set up for next week? Odegaard also goes on the bench, which isn't my favourite move, I've got to be honest. But out of all the other players, he's the favourite just because he might not even make the starting lineup this week. There is a slight doubt there. That then leaves me next game week, and I end up only I end up having 2 players missing out, whereas in the other draft it was only 1. And I'd have Maddison in this team, and I've done 1 transfer in this team, and I've brought in, who was it? It's not up front. It's not there. No, I think I decided to roll a transfer in this one, because I don't want to remove any of those players because they've got a double game week, and then attack the following game week by bringing in Ward in goal and bringing Shaw in for Bueno, which gives me I think a bigger, better bench boost game week in 29. But that is a few game weeks away. So if you've been with me for the 1 and 2, do let me know which one's the best attack of play. Do I sell, basically for this game week, do I sell Salah to bring in McAllister and Tony, or do I bring in Steele and upgrade Kepa? Sounds quite boring, that, doesn't it? Aritravo, howdy, wildcard team. So anybody who's on their wildcard, do check this out. Is now. So let's see if Salah's part of this list. Raya and Kepa, so double goalkeepers, ready for the double game weeks. Estupinian, Trippier, so sticking with Trippier. They have got the fixtures now, and he is due to sort of get back on, and his underlying stats are still there. Henry, 4.5 million, Brentford. Chilwell on the bench. Okay, they've got a double in 29, haven't they? I'm assuming they play in 28 as well. Yeah, they play Everton, so arguably a good fixture. Let's have a look. Zinchenko, bench, so they're benched this week, ready for next week. Salah, so you've gone with Salah up against Bournemouth. Saka, Rashford, Mitoma, McAllister, Tony, Kane, and then Watkins on the bench. So you've gone without Haaland. Are you not worried about going without Haaland? See, the other thing is I know Al's gone without Haaland this week as well on his wild card. And you two guys are experienced at getting good ranks. So maybe I'm holding on to Haaland, but it's the getting him back bit. Check out Fantasypedia's chances conceded thread, mate. I find that useful. Okay, is that on Twitter? Don't know this guy. Search. What's his name? Fantasy. Let's share it with the community. Fantasypedia. Here we go. Let's give him a follow. 15,000 followers. case for Ben Chilwell. Can't decide. Where's the thread, mate? Oh, this looks an interesting one. McAllister versus Matoma versus March. McAllister's been underperforming his XGI by a huge margin, while Matoma's been overperforming. March's overall attacking numbers catch the eye. Is it the chances thread? Is it the one regarding this one here? Both Leicester and Chelsea have conceded chances from almost all over the pitch. For Leicester, Chelsea wing-back Chilwell are interesting picks in this one. Chelsea wing-backs for Leicester, Maddison is the one to keep an eye on. Most chances conceded. Leicester City versus Chelsea. Leicester. Oh yeah, loads. Crystal Palace down the right. Okay, I see where you're going with this one. Go for plan one, Big Nose Monkey. Okay, mate. It feels a bit more sensible. And I get 2 players next game week. And by game week 29, anything could have happened. Let's go back and have a look. I'm not totally, I said this yesterday, I'm not totally convinced on Ivan Toney's credentials. So this would be my starting 11. One thing I've done a lot of in the past is force players out to bring players in and then regretted it massively. So I'm just a bit mindful of that. Oh, don't know. Right, let's have a quick look. The other thing is, let's go on to Premier Fantasy Tools. Those of you who weren't on the stream any of the streams yesterday will have a quick look at this. I won't go into it in massive detail, but they have the have an elite team here. This is their teams going into last week, and one of the interesting things to note is that 95% of them last week used their wild card. So this is last game week. So they were obviously building ready for this game week. And one of the interesting things are keepers, Kepa and Raya. Defenders, people still sticking with Trippier, Henry, Estupinian, Botman, Gabriel. Last game week, Saka, Rashford, March is the one that they're all going for last week, and Mitoma. And then keeping hold of Odegaard, not letting him go. So he was the choice along with Saka in midfield. And then forwards, all 20 of the teams had Tony, Haaland and Kane. So 20 of the best career managers in FPL. So that's how they're doing this season, but also how they've done in previous seasons, have gone for Ivan Toney for these double game weeks. But also kept Haaland and Kane. You can see those are their most owned players. So that just makes me think, sometimes you can be a little bit stubborn and thinking you know better than everybody else. Am I doing that now? That's what's in my head. That's what's in my head. Aritravo, Kane's 2 fixtures versus Haaland 1. Haaland might drop to 12 million by game week 29-30. That's true, mate. A few people getting rid. We'll get him back then. It's worth the risk, I feel. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. You've got to take risks in this game. I'm just trying to figure out. I think basically I'm playing. Do I stay safe and stay with the team I've got, or do I take the risk and bring in the Brighton and Brentford for away fixtures? I suppose ultimately, is Tony's 2 fixtures better than Salah's 1? Salah and Odegaard, that's what I'm looking at. Missing out. The other option is I can go to Fernandez, but I really like his double, so I don't want to do that. I want to be triple United at that point. And bring Shaw in for that game week. Did this plan allow me to bring Shaw, or was that the other one? No, that's bringing Estupinian in. Oh, God. What time is it? We've still got an hour and a half to decide. Still got an hour and a half to decide. Right, so let's have a little chat about captains. I'll tell you what I'll do on the FPL factory. Let's just line up here. Let's clear all this. I have to clear them all away. All right, let's clear all these away, and let's line up the Brighton mids. Let's bring in Mitoma. Anybody who's sort of unsure a little bit for you guys. Let's see who wins in this. Obviously, this is past performance. March and McAllister. Oh, you need to add them, Divvy. March. Add. Let's go in the. Well, look at that. In the last 10 game weeks, March tops it. Let's go the last 5 game weeks. Total points. Mitoma, game started. I think McAllister starts anyway. It was just injury. ICT index, March at the top of that. Let's have a look at the attacking. Expected goals, 3.1 for McAllister. He has scored, but it's been a penalty. So is he due? March has delivered the least in the last 5 game weeks. But expected assist at 2.4, way up there above everybody else. So he's being the more creative of the players. For others, Thomas slightly outperforming. Touches in the penalty area. There or thereabouts, really, isn't it? They're all in there. Won by March, though, believe it or not. Clean sheets. This is what it is, a flip of the coin, and they've obviously all got the same sort of fixtures. Miscontrols. Mitoma gives it away more. Although dispossessed McAllister. March more likely to get some fouls. Yellow card. And that was last game week. Both these boys delivered. Is it this man's turn? Is it time for Solly March? Okay, Aritravo. Let's have a look. Is White and March going to start this game week? I don't see why not, mate. I don't see why not. I've got White in my team. It's not something that's crossed my mind, Vishal. So that thread, that's a bit more explanation on this thread from Aritravo. That thread actually shows that chances conceded from the left flank, middle, right flank. It shows you which teams have weaknesses in which area. Okay. So let's have a look and see. Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Bournemouth on the right hand side where Salah plays. Oh, God. See, can I sell Salah? Look at that, 115. I don't know what that... It's bigger numbers than So this is conceding, okay. So Liverpool are conceding more down the their right, is it? I suppose. Yeah, than their left, or more through the middle. Okay, yeah, I get this now, mate. Nice one. Thank you for this. Most chances conceded. So Palace are conceding down the right the most. Okay, yeah, I get it. Salah non-owners look away. It might be another painful week. Trent might get something as well. See, this makes me want to hold on to Salah. This makes me want to hold on to Salah. Aritravo. Oh, Aritravo just sending me a link. I think that is this the one I'm on? Am I on the right one? Game week 27. Hello. This is the one I'm on, isn't it? Yes. This is really good. I like this, Aritravo. Thank you for sharing this very much. You go. Southampton have been quite vulnerable down their right flank. Rashford is a great cut. See, Rashford. Look at this. Right, Tony, let's have a look. The most owned Brentford asset, Ivan Toney, doesn't directly benefit from the opposition's weakness. However, he's always a threat against any defence. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Watch out for Rico Henry as well. What's going on here? Brentford versus Everton and Southampton. Is there an extra comment in this one? Ah, there we go. Ah, the next feature. So Everton down the flanks as opposed to through the middle. Southampton are down the left flank. Okay, this is making me think I'm just going to bring Steele in, to be honest with you. Haaland is probably the one to consider, maybe. Haaland to Toney. This is gold, mate. Thank you very much for sharing this. Fantasypedia. Give them a follow if this is the sort of thing you like. Thank you very much, Fantasypedia, for all your hard work. Harrison and Nonto could spoil Brighton's clean sheet chances as Brighton are vulnerable through the flanks. Not heard from Willie Nonto for a couple of weeks. Kane owners should be hopeful in this one. I am very hopeful. Southampton, I told you. James Ward-Prowse, always interesting. You've just got to catch him at the right time, haven't you? Trippier, look at this, up against Wolves. Wolves have conceded 103 chances down their left flank. Trippier could have a field day. Does anyone own any assets from Everton to avoid? Oh, makes me want to cry. I do think Dwight McNeil's a cheeky punt, but who are you getting rid of in midfield for him? Oh, that's a horrible way to finish. Everton versus Brentford. Brentford down the middle, where we've got nobody. Although Dom is back on the grass. Go with your gut, mate. Of course, these are just samples and shows what happened in the past, but I feel it's okay to consider these maybe while making decisions. Absolutely, mate. It's all about informed decisions. You know, as much information as you can possibly gather to either, to help in making a decision. And this week, arguably, is one of the toughest weeks, I think. One of the toughest weeks. I think I'm going to go... I think... Let's go and have a look at my actual team here. Let's have a look at my actual team. Transfers. So, I think the biggest sellable asset is actually Erling Haaland. Isn't he? Can he smash Liverpool at home, though? You got it, was it? What did he do against Liverpool in the other fixture? Nothing. They nullified him. And they nullified him pre-season as well, to be fair. Against United at home, though. Another big rivalry. He absolutely smashed it. In my head, every week I've got to improve my start. If it's not improving my starting 11, then what's the point? This is how it looks. Oh, can I really cash in on Odegaard? Maybe. Is that a sensible thing to do? Oh. I don't know. Right, ask me some questions. I'll come back to me in a bit. Right, Zinchenko goes in. Let's have a... Where was I up to? Yes, you're on the right one. Lovely, thank you all. Whom to triple captain this game week? I think Tony's the one, isn't it? Tony or Mitoma for me. If you're going to do a triple captain this game week. I think I've got my wild card planned out now. Okay, mate. Feel free to send us a picture if you want, and I'll bring it up if you want. No worries if you don't want to. Zinchenko goes in for Mings. I think that's a good shout, mate. I think that's a very good shout. I've already read out Aritravo's. Rahul, Saka or Havertz? Saka. For me, out of those two. Hands down, to be honest. My opinion. Please make your own choices. Maddie, welcome to the stream. Don't forget, guys, if you are new to the stream, do subscribe to the channel. That would be lovely. More the merrier. Join the league below. We do a league analysis stream every week where we look at everybody's transfers, who they've brought in, who they've captained, etc. And we try to learn from each other. Maddie, if I make negative this week in the Fantasy Premier League game and then make a wild card this week, the negative will go away. Yes, they will. Yep, your wild card supersedes that, Maddie. Big Nose Monkey, avoid. Yeah, oh, mate. Don't be harsh on my Everton. Don't be harsh. That's not fair. I'm going to smash him for that, yeah. Big Dom comes in. Yes. Whom should I start? Saka or Havertz? Saka against Fulham. Who have Chelsea got? Leicester away. Saka. Saka for me, mate. On that one. My opinion. Is there anything else I can do? Is there anything else I can do? Let's have a look. Right, come on. Let's go back to a reset. Reset game week. Right, there's my team as it stands. What would you guys do? Pav, how are you? Thank you very much for asking, sir. I'm actually feeling a lot better. I'm a lot better. It's arthritis and I got fibromyalgia as well. So yeah, but I've used my wrist. I've got the strap off today. So it's a hard line between trying to strengthen my wrist and using it too much. But I seem to have got through yesterday and not needed to put it on. It's here. It's hanging around to support it. But I seem to be in a better place. Yeah, avoid made me giggle as well. Cheers, honestly, ganging up on Everton. No need. Right, I need to go and get a battery for my vapey. Hold the line, callers. Unless I've got one in my pocket here. No. I don't know where I've put it. Okay, just going to run in the house and I'll be back. All right, don't leave me. Guess who's back? Back again. Livesey's back. Tell your friends. Yeah, FPL song will come at some point. Just need my hand to play the guitar and a bit of confidence. Right, you sent your team now. Right, let's have a look at your wildcard team then. You're going to have a full 11 of double game weekers in game week 29 if everything goes to plan. Okay, mate. Sent it me on Twitter, I'm assuming. Here we go. Let's have a look. So anybody wants to do anything like this, then please do feel free. The stream is for you guys as well. Let's have a look. What do we think of this, guys? Pass your judgment on this wildcard team. Raya in goal, doubles all round. Me, Trippier, Estupinian, Salah, Rashford. No Haaland again. No Haaland again. Am I missing a trick here? Is this one of my stubborn hold on for no reason whatsoever? Let's end the poll here for a second. Which plan should I go for? 58% said plan 1, which is Steele this week, as opposed to bringing in Tony and McAllister for Salah. I can't do it via Saka. I'm going to go and have another little play in a minute. Haaland goes in for Watkins later. Have you got money in the bank for that? So Rashford, we've already seen how him and Salah could do really well this game week. Saka up against Fulham. I think he's the top Arsenal asset, isn't he? Jesus is on the way back soon. So Martinelli, I think he's going to find it. He's done well recently. He's played in that central striking slot, but there's becoming more and more competition. With Eddie and Nketiah up top. Jesus is going to be back. Smith Rowe is playing again now. Reece Nelson's playing from the left as well. I think Saka's probably... Saka and Odegaard are more nailed on, although Martinelli keeps coming back being nailed on. Martin Mitoma in midfield, Tony and Kane up front. Zinchenko on the bench. Botman and then Watkins. So this will be, I'm assuming, for next game week as well. Does this give you a full 11 for next game week? Yes, Maddie, hits go away if you hit the wild card. Yep, thank you for helping out there, sir. Nice song, that, like it, mate. Oh, it's take off. It is a take off of Eminem, isn't it? Morning, Paul. Morning, Josh. How are you, sir? The storyteller, Nepal, Shaw, Akanji, or Saliba? Which one to be benched? Shaw, no. Akanji, yes. Or Saliba up against Fulham away. I'd say Akanji. City struggle with a clean sheet for me. So out of those, Akanji for me, sir. FPL Josh, what's your Twitter? Okay, I like that team, mate. Just to worry about Haaland, but you've got a plan to get him back in. You're not the only one doing it. I feel like I'm being a bit of a worry. I need to make a decision more. Maybe it's Haaland I need to bin off. Maybe it is. Let's go and have a look at the... my Twitter, FPL Josh, is home. FPL Livesey Lovesit. There's a captaincy thread here from FPL Go. I shall share later. If anybody's got any other captaincy sort of like information to help make that choice, then please do. But it's a tough call this week. Profile, that's me. That's pre-beard. FPL Livesey loves it. Maddie, if I did the wild card in the same week that I did would the negatives go? Yes, they would, mate. Transferring Salah out later as well. Okay, so you just have him in for this game week. That was my thought. But this game week does look like a good one. You would have March over Saka, Chilwell over Estupinian. Okay, mate. That's FPL Josh's thoughts. FPL Josh runs his own channel on YouTube. Big Nose Muggy, it gives me 9+1 free transfer next week. Okay, so you'll have 10 next week. With that wildcard team. FPL Josh sent you my team on Twitter. FIFA Trade 23, FPL Josh. Not seeing it, mate. Notifications. Do. Messages. No message requests. No. Same at Big Nose. So you've got the same 9+1 for free transfer next week. Okay. Right, let's go and have I'm gonna have a little play with me team. I can't see that, Josh. Try again, mate. That's me. FPL Livesey loves it. I don't know where I've gone. Try again, mate, and I'll have a look in a moment. Right, I'm gonna have a little team tinker. Is Odegaard the one I should be selling? Possibly injured. Thing is, I've waited so long to get him in. Let's have a little play. Can I get? Thing is, if I sell Odegaard, I suppose I could sell him for. Then I've got to put somebody else on the bench, and I don't want to put Salah, Fernandes, or Rashford on the bench this game week, or Mitoma. Maybe it's Haaland. First off, let's just put the captaincy there, so we've got it on a double game week player. Maybe Haaland is the one. Haaland and Steele. Maybe that's the play. Right, let's go and have a look on FPL team. Right, this is a reset game week. So let's try. Let's take Haaland out for Tony. Direct swap. Maybe that's the play. How does it leave me in the weeks coming up? Still think Steele's the best option for me. Keep hold of Kepa. Keeps the cost down. Nice cheeky differential as well. 1% owned. Let's swap them over. Yeah, Steele can't be factored in based on his performance, his not been in the team previously, because that's taking my points down by 5, and I don't believe that, to be honest with you. I think he gives you an option of more points, so I don't think that's the worst in the world. Is that the play? No March, no McAllister. Let's have a look. Let's see how that leaves me. Let's just update. Let's create a new draft. Let's call this 27. I don't know, let's just call it 3. Third option, create draft. Maximum of 2 draft views. Subscribe to create more here. Oh, that's not happening. Right, okay, let's just see what it does then. So next. Obviously, I can swap Steele for Kepa. Tarkovsky for Rashford. Bueno, who hopefully will be back by then. Greenwood is almost like a non-player, isn't he? But I go into that with a transfer and 4 million in the bank. Maybe it's a Greenwood improvement in that week with my 4 million. Maybe it's a Greenwood improvement. Ready for the... That leave me for the following double game week. In terms of bench boost, means I get to replace Bueno here in that game week for sure. But to do that, I need to have like only £2.5 million upgrade on the previous week for Greenwood. I will want somebody who's on a double game week. Right, I'm getting overly confused now. I think I just need to try and keep it simple, and maybe I'll sell Haaland for Tony. How many people have sold? Let's have a look here. What's going on? Ownership changes. McAllister, people bringing them in. Let's go and have a look at the main website. Status. Top transfers in. Matoma and Tony. Estupinian, McAllister, me. Less and less. Top transfers out this week. Odegaard. Haaland, but only from 138,000 teams. Still in 84% of teams. Of 84% of managers got it wrong. Is it elite level? I haven't got a clue what to do. Someone tell me what to do, please. That's where I'm at this week. That's where I'm at. Let's go and have a look and see. Sent you my team on Twitter. Let's have a look. See if I've received that, Josh. It's not looking like it, mate. I'd tag you in tweet message not working for some reason. Maybe you've not spelt my name right, mate. at Livesey Lovesit. Try that. Free hit team 28. What does that mean, E.G. Ryan? Free hit team 28. You can use a free hit in 28 if you want to. I just don't think it's a massive one to sort of attack, to be honest with you. If we look at the doubles, if you look at the fixtures, let's go in this one. Plan. Fixtures in 28. Who are you going for? We're going to enter my team ID again. 1151877. Game week 28. I just don't think the fixtures for 28 are great ones to attack, really. I suppose with the exception of Arsenal, Chelsea. I can't see which other fixture you go and attack, really, in 28 for a free hit. I suppose if you've got 3 or 4 players, then it's worth it because you can fill your team up. Gain an extra 7 playing players. I'm sure we could look at those for a few nuggets. Maybe Maddison against Brentford. It's not what people want to hear, is it? Watkins up against Bournemouth. You know, there are players in there, but it's a tough look. There's no, you know, there's no City playing, there's no United playing, there's no Liverpool playing. There's no Fulham playing. Newcastle are away to Forest, who have improved at home on a Friday night. I think Forest will do well there, to be honest with you. Hope that answers your question, E.G. Ryan. Deadly Mantis. Where are we? Ray Award, me, James, Shaw, Trips, Dunk, Rashi, Bruno, March, McAllister, Saka, Tony, Haaland, Havertz. Wildcard this week. Free hit 28, bench boost 29. Gambling. Love a little gamble, mate. Why not? Go for it. Go for it. James has confirmed out this game week. He's ruled out. You're right. Well said. God, it's good job. It's like, good job you're on here, mate, isn't it? Didn't pick up on that there. Do apologise. FPL Josh. Okay, your team is Raya, Henry, Trips and Chilwell. Yeah, March, Matoma, Salah, McAllister, Rashford, Kane, Tony, Captain. And on Ward, Botman, Cash and Watkins, 5.1 mil in the bank. Yes, mate, I think that's a very good looking team. It's similar to what I'm seeing from the likes of Aritravo, Big Nose Monkey earlier. Deadly Mantis, I know, yeah, me, Duncan, Trips to start. Got James for the next few game weeks. He's just a bit of a troll, isn't he, James? He only has illness, not injury. Okay. Planning ahead. Suppose you're on a wild card. You can't just be looking at one game week. Kane in 27, 28, 29. Betters Haaland for me. Yeah, can't argue with that. He's got a blank next week. And then he's got Liverpool in the week after. Kane away to Southampton. Home to Forest this week. And in the following game week has got Spurs. Where's he at? Away to Everton, the mighty Everton. So, has that been moved to the Monday night now? Everton Spurs. Okay. Twitter not working. I put the team in the chat. Okay, mate. City score prediction. Yeah, we've gone through that. I do like your team. City score prediction this game week up against Palace. I'll go for 3-1, mate. 3-1. Tony 3 weeks better as Haaland. Yeah, mate, possibly. He's got 5 games, hasn't he? Against Haaland's 2. See, that then says to me, go transfer him out. Just sent you my wildcard squad on Twitter too. Deadly Mantis. Right, let's have a look, mate. There we go, where it is. Mr. Carl. What are we thinking of this, viewers? Let's have a look. So, Brighton, and so all out on the Brentford defence. Confident away from home? That's my only question. Doubled up. Got 2 chances at it, I suppose. Dunk. Yeah, you're just seeing that header, aren't you, Deadly? And trips against Wolves, we've already seen, thanks to Aritravo, how Wolves are very susceptible down their left-hand side, which should be a field day for Trippier. Interestingly, wildcard Fernandez. These are the players I'm loath to get rid of, even though they blank next week. Ready for the double game week coming up, so that makes me feel that maybe I shouldn't be getting rid of those. You've stuck with Haaland. I suppose it's the Salah or Haaland choice this for wildcarders this week. No Kane though up against Forest. That's interesting, mate. Kane's got a good couple of game weeks. I'm seeing variations in premiums this game week that I've not seen since the start of the season. It's very much been Haaland, Kane, and then whoever out of the others. But it's been Haaland and Kane have been the top 2 premiums, I think, in everybody's team recently. And that seems to be getting split up, looking at all these wild cards. But then you see 84% owned still. Erling Haaland. And you think, is that right? 84% owned. Look, he just looks mean, doesn't he? He's got a look on his face that says, I'm going to do you. I'm going to do you. If you sell me, I am going to punish you. I am the Punisher. What a series, by the way. I've only just watched it recently. Loving a bit of Defender Saga from Marvel. Usually my rule of thumb is in the weeks where you don't know what to do, do nothing. Don't force players out is what I tend to say to myself. Ah! I haven't got a clue what to do. Maybe Haaland is the call. But then I'm not interested in Salah after this game week either. Maybe I just need to hold my team one more week and hold my nerve. I did last week when everybody wildcarded. How did Palace and City get on last time? Probably looked at this already. 4-2, 17 points. Yeah, we talked about that. Smashed it up against Palace last time. Let's have a look at the actual Premier League table. I mean, City need the wins, don't they? They can't be resting their best players at this moment in time. Same for United. If they've still got any aspirations, then it's too much for United. Mind you, they've still got a game in hand. Takes them to 52, 11 points behind Arsenal. I think that's too many to make up. Arsenal need to go on a really poor run to do that. And I think they've had their blip, to be honest with you. But for sure, Eric Ten Hag is not giving up. And they're still fighting for Champions League. Liverpool, they win away. They're back in contention for Champions League. They seem to be out of it a couple of weeks ago, to be honest with you. Further down, it's anyone from Palace down, really, can be relegated. It's only 6 points that separates these teams. Bournemouth and Southampton have picked up a few recently. beating Leicester at home. Good result that. Good result that for what's his name? Sellers, is it? Tellez? Can't remember what his name is. Manager looking after him there. That's why I'm not a massive fan of the Tony fixture against Southampton away. And I think Everton cannot keep a clean sheet today at Goodison. I do. Oh! Right, let's go to the comments. Deadly Man has just sent you my wildcard squad on Twitter. Oh, that was you. We've just done that, haven't we, mate? I like it, mate. I just like you're missing. You know, you're hearing all my problems and my dilemmas all morning. I think Salah's got a great fixture this game week. Kane has got a great fixture this game week. You don't sell somebody when they've got a great fixture. You don't sell somebody when they've got a great fixture. That's one of my sort of like what I'm trying to do. But I don't want to go against that. Palace away is a great fixture, isn't it? Let's have a look. Tony 3 weeks better. Odegaard versus João Felix to start. Who are Chelsea playing this week? I can't even remember now. Looked at some weeks. Leicester away. I think Odegaard's due. It's just, I suppose you can play Odegaard. If it wasn't a doubt about his illness, I'd be saying Odegaard over João Felix. Definitely would be my choice. I suppose if he doesn't start, if he doesn't play, if he's your first bench option, he comes in anyway, João Felix. So for me, I'd be starting Odegaard over João Felix. My opinion: start Perisic or Odegaard. For me, again, same. Odegaard. Perisic hasn't done anywhere new as much as we thought. FPL Josh made a new Twitter quick sent. Okay, let's have a look. Have I got a new message here? Notification? No. Message. Josh, you're trolling me. You're trolling me, Josh. Nothing there, mate. March versus McAllister's captain, mate. Let me just get a coin. Here we go. Because that's what it is. March's heads, McAllister's tails. Tails, McAllister. I think that's it this week, mate. That's the way it goes with that one, I'm afraid. There is no right or wrong answer. Haaland, Hattie versus Palace last game. Yes, mate. Are Everton winning today? I hope so. I'm going to try not to swear. I hope so, mate. I think so, if I'm honest. I think so. We need it. I mean, look, we just had the league up a minute ago. We just had the league up. Look where we are. We're in the relegation zone. 22 points. So we need to win our home games. I've been watching some like Everton Toffee TV and stuff, and I can see there's been a little bit. There's almost been a little bit of apprehension, I think, as much as I hate to say it, they have been getting behind the team, don't get me wrong, but they've not gone full tilt. And I think there's just a little bit in the mentality of Evertonians that, oh my God, I can't believe we're here again. But I think this week has seen a little bit of a wake up of the fan base. People talking about what they can do to improve the atmosphere in the game and stuff like that. And usually once you start seeing that, things start to kick off because we love our club, basically. And, you know, anything we can do to get behind the team, yeah, is a good one. So, yeah, FPL Charlie, I'll stick my neck on the line. I do wear blue tinted glasses, though. Everton get a result today. In which case, I'm saying I think they get a clean sheet as well. So, no, I'm not going to bring Tony in for Erling Haaland when he's got Crystal Palace, because then it's just his game against Southampton, who have just beaten Leicester at home. Brentford have gone unbeaten for 12 games as well. That's my other thing, and I don't think they can keep that going for much longer. I don't. You can't see all their full results there. I wish you could see like their a streak. You can on some parts. Yeah, let's keep going down the comments. Let's put my team up here so it makes a nice looking page for anybody joining the stream. Where's the fantasy page gone? What's going on? Right, I'm just going to close that down. Any messages on Twitter? Oh, here we go. Josh Reynolds. Thanks for the follow, Josh, mate. Seems like you found me. Follow you back. Hey, your first follower. Happy days. Pick team. Yeah, no, I'm not selling Haaland. I'm not doing it. I'm not selling Haaland. I'm not selling Kane. I'm just going to... I think I'm just going to bring Steele in. Maybe, just maybe, I sell Odegaard. Although he plays next game week, doesn't he? He plays next game week. Against Crystal Palace, so that's a bad shout because I ain't got many players for next game week as it stands. I'm just gonna go. I think I'm just gonna go with plan one. This is your team. Right, let's bring it up on screen, Josh. You've worked hard for that, mate. Triple Brighton midfield. Interesting. Can't decide which one to go for. Gone for the lot. Salah and Rashford. Can't argue with that, mate. Haaland and Tony, just no Kane. How does that leave you for next week? Because obviously Brighton are blanking next game week. As are United and Liverpool. Are you going to be using a free hit next week, mate? Yeah, I like it. Attack for the double game weeks there. Nice one for sending that in, Josh. Thank you. Where am I up to on the stream? I got to follow you for it to come through. I'll just follow you to try now. Okay, it says sent for me. Just check newest follower, then check messages. Twitter sucks today. Okay, Josh, there we go. Thank you, mate. Hope you're enjoying your streams from Australia. Cheers, yow. Appreciate that, mate. You're on the other side. I think our league leader is Australian this week. One too many hits, Nihal. So you guys know your football. There's new account of the main playing it. Okay, Aritravo, it's a headache, isn't it? Yeah, I just want the game. It is, mate. My head's battered. I've got to be honest. It is absolutely battered this week. It's because it's so close. The good news is there's lots of good options. They're all good options. That's the thing, I suppose. It's just which one. It's gambling at the end of the day. They're all good options. Worst is if you haven't got good options, I suppose. Yeah, I'd bring Steele in if I was you. Cash in on the double and plays next week, blank week. Josh, you've got Kane. Miss Eden Hazard in the Premier League. Do you, Harith, mate? I bet you're a Chelsea fan. Welcome to the stream, mate. Not Haaland. Check next one. Sent the wrong pick. Okay. Josh has sent another one. With no Haaland and with Kane. So exactly the same as before. Oh, no. Difference in defense. Chilwell's in there. Gone in on the Villa, I see. Ward for the double game week coming up. Are you bench boosting, are you, sir? And Botman. Yeah, you're attacking it, mate. There's no two ways about it. Just be careful for next week. Don't know what your plan is for the next game week, mate. Ackerman followed you. Thank you very much. Thanks for the follow. Give you a follow back, sir. Good to see you. Loving the sunset pick, mate. Love a bit of nature. Love a bit of nature. You just got Chilwell. You got Chilwell. Nice one, Josh. Right, let's go back to my team. Let's go back to my team. I'm going to stick with them. Got Tarkowski to come in if Odegaard doesn't play. Quite boringly, I'm just going to bring Steele in because I think that improves my team this week, and that is what I'm looking to do. Tony to Haaland, does it? It's arguable. Could go either way. I think it's a 50-50 really. The only thing with Tony is 30. How many percent of teams is he in now? What's his ownership now? Obviously that can affect you. And he has been on the watch list for ages. 38.9% of teams, so it's going to be over 40% by the time the deadline comes in. Whoa, 40 minutes. We're close now, boys and girls. It's close. It's close. And I do think he's going to be the favourite captain this week. I do think he will. In which case, that's major damage. Major damage to rank. The safe sell is Fernandez. In terms of that, for generating funds, 7.6% of teams. But he's also my differential for climbing the ranks. All right, 40 minutes to go. Lots of wild carders. Let's have a look at the comments. You'll have 9 next week and your bench boost 29. Okay, Josh, nice one. Good to hear, sir. Yao, you've sent me your team. Have I shown it? Here we go. Here's your team, Yao. Captain in March. Proper going for it, sir. Risking it for a biscuit. Jensen. Justin Mbuemo. I like the fact you're not necessarily following what everybody else is doing, mate. Going with your gut. Maybe I need to do that, right? Maybe I need to do that. Tarkowski. Gabriel. Is this a wild? This isn't a wild card, is it? No. Wouldn't be bringing Bueno and Perisic in on a wild card. Okay, mate. So you've got 3 all together. Right. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Steele in. And that's it. And then I'm going to roll into next week. Into the blank game week with 2 free transfers. See if there's any injuries. And I'm going to sell Salah next week, basically. I think. Let's go and have a look on FPL team. So that would be my, in terms of my drafts, it would be this one. Load. So Steele this week for 1 transfer. Next game week, I sell Salah. I can bring Maddison in. It gives me 10 players next game week, which that's got to be huge, hasn't it? Who else have I done on this? Oh, and I've brought Tony in up top as well. Against Leicester at home. This is only home fixture. We can look at that next week though, but I can sell Salah next week and start getting ready for the double. That's what I'm going to do. It feels very boring. I rolled last week when everybody else was hitting wild card, and this week I'm just going to bring in Steele for Everson. But it just shows I'm happy with my team. I am currently, in terms of how I've performed so far this season, I mean, I'm now 1.7 million. I was at 4.7 million going into the World Cup. In the second chance, so since the World Cup, I seem to be the team I've had, and obviously we all had the wild card there, has got me is 251k in the second chance. So that's where I'd be if the season started there now, which I'd be much happier with, which is why I'm loath to rip this team apart. It's why I'm loath to rip them apart at this moment in time. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Is it? Yeah, it is. It is. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't want to do it too close to the deadline. Am I doing it? Am I doing it? Where's he at? Let's just type him in. Got a really good feeling. The fact that he likes him because he plays with his feet. 2 double game weeks coming up. And he'll play in both because he'll be bench boost in 29. I just think he optimises my squad. Not according to the predicted points on that website, mind, but I believe it does. Shall I click it? Am I really going without Tony? Am I really doing it? What do the comments say? Are people telling me to stop? Let me just click. Let's have a look what people are saying. You'd go Bruno to March, but Haaland to Tony's the best pick. Can't sell Bruno, mate. Can't sell Bruno. Not after the way he played midweek. And they've got the double in 29, so that's key for me there. With Captain Tony ownership 120%, yes. But is this a chance to catch up on the likes of him? Deadly Mantis, you'd keep Bruno and ship Oda. Yeah. Odegaard is probably the one to ship. Maybe I might do that before the deadline. Maybe I'll bring March or McAllister in for him. We'll see. Aritravo, I just hope no Brighton mids cross 100% effective ownership. But I think Mitoma might just be. Tony will definitely be 100% over, yes. I'm sort of banking that Tony as a blanks, basically. Or gets one return over the 2 game weeks. McAllister better differential than Bruno as he has double and playing number 10 role. Frees up funds too. Yep. Good luck, Deadly Mantis. Lovely from Aritravo, that. Ackerman, I'll set my team. Can you have a look? I think I've already done that already, Ackerman. Thanks for joining the stream. Make sure you subscribe. Join the league as well. Code in the description below. Who Really Lovesit League. If you haven't joined it, you've got a chance to win the mug. Okay, anywhere in the world, I will send that to. And you and I can drink from our mugs on a weekly basis. Your Twitter account, please, is Livesey Lovesit. At Livesey Lovesit. My profile just there. That's me. Pre-beard. Levi Mills. Sell Greenwood and Bruno for Tony and Mitoma. I just want to keep Bruno, but yeah, I think that's a good shout, to be honest. Greenwood, I mean, getting rid, you've got 2 playing players as opposed to 1. Depends if you're having to drop them in. Lee Van Abel, why don't you reply to chat? I am doing, sir. Do apologise if I wasn't quick enough for you. Maybe I'll try harder next time. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm here, Mashali, on wildcard McAllister or March. For me, McAllister over the 2. He's on penalties. His XG stats are much better than March. And I think, yeah, I think McAllister, I think he's due to come in. Yow, I'm ranked 83k, and I have never in my history in FPL taken a hit. Planning ahead is key. Interesting, Yow. Never taken a hit. Wow. See, I've taken too many. Planning ahead is key. Lovely to have you on board, Yow, with that mentality. Totally can help me change mine. Would you bench boost with Kepa, Zinchenko, Chilwell, and Watkins? Possibly. Who have Villa got this week again? Fact of the matter is, if you've got a full playing bench, go for it. That's the key for me. And you like the fixtures, go for it. That's all it takes. Right, I'm gonna do this transfer. I'm going for Steele. I'm doing it. Confirm transfer. Done. Done. Save my team. The only question now is, do I use the other free transfer before the deadline? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I'll go into next week with 2 free transfers. Well, I can bring in players. Let's have a look. Would you bench boost? You're 23rd, Josh. Well done, Josh. You're slightly ahead of me. I'll be in Livesey League next week, Josh. Currently ranked 2nd once updated. Happy days. Lovely to have great players on board. I am going to close the league. If you're thinking, should I join now? Maybe I'll do it in a couple of weeks. I'm going to close it. I think game week 33. So the last 6 game weeks is everybody who's been in it for either the season or, you know, the lead up, just for the running. That'll be the plan. I don't think I go with anybody else. So it's all captaincy, I suppose, is now the one. I'm just going to go with a double game week player. Matoma. Although Haaland, Kane, Fernandes, Rashford are all equally good shouts this game week. You've got to captain the double, haven't you? Matoma has done really well. Some say he overperformed. I think he's just a really good player, to be honest with you. A really good player. I don't think he stays at Brighton after the summer. Not if he carries on anyway. Has the battery gone on this as well? No, it's the bloody filter. Hard work this. These are the next to give up. I've given up sugar this week in an attempt to improve my health. Your team looks good. It does, doesn't it, mate? I'm happy with it. You'd roll till next week. It's just forcing players in. And that's where I try. Thank you for that, Yao. Mr. Patient. Mr. Patient. I'm gonna hope you don't mind me saying that. But at 83k, you've got a much better rank than I have. And I think patience is key. And I think I learned a bit of that during World Cup Fantasy. By the way, I finished 16k in that. So I think I learned a lot from playing World Cup Fantasy Football. A different game. No Everton to sort of like hamper my team by keep putting them in my side. Yeah, I think I've got good players there. Yeah. That's me, boys and girls. It's all about you now. All good. Thank you, Mr. Patience. Could all do with a dose of that occasionally. So yeah, anybody got anything they want me to have a look at? Let's have a look at this captaincy thread I was going to have a look at before. If anybody else has got anything similar. Where did I put? Which one was it? It was FPL Goats. Captaincy thread. So, big shout FPL at FPL Goat 7 on Twitter. It's all based on goal scoring odds, expected points, and clean sheet odds over the 2 games. Small thread. So, who leads according to the expected points? So, Mitoma on top, which is nice. I've just captained him. Estupinian, McAllister all tied, all ahead of Tony. And then Ferguson, actually, 4.6. 4.6s. Right up there with Ivan Toney in terms of predicted points. That's interesting. £3.2 million cheaper. Is there anybody else on that slide? No. But I find that really interesting. Okay. This is on Draft Hound. I don't use Draft Hound. Anyone else use Draft Hound? Except your cookies, man. As long as they've got chocolate in them. Getting started. No, I don't want to get started. Okay, new website. Right, let's add that to the bookmarks bar, and we'll look at that at a later stage. Maybe that's a good website, something unique to offer. Back to the thread. Okay, 2 odds of at least a goal or an assist. So Mitoma tops the list of predicted points. Best odds, Ferguson again. Right up there. Leads away Crystal Palace at home. 67% chance for Tony. That's over 2 game weeks. Equal to, look at that, equal to Haaland and Kane and Salah. This is why, this is why I struggle to sell these players. And then Mitoma on 62% for an attacking return. Happy days, okay. Mitoma makes the list though. Maybe I should be I have had the captaincy on Haaland for most of the week, to be honest with you. Bus team was Haaland. Let's run a captaincy poll, shall we? Should we run a captaincy poll? Brentford and Brighton opponents clean sheets odds this game week. Everton and Southampton 33% and 13% chance of a clean sheet. So it's more likely that Brentford will score in both of those games. Brighton 20% and 14%. So Brighton looking more likely to score overall in those games. So these are those teams' chances of conceding by the looks of it. Conceding a goal, okay. Odds on. Conclusion, let's have a look what the GOAT comes to his conclusion. I didn't get to read all of it. So according to the score and odds expected points and clean shot, Brighton mids, especially Mitoma and McAllister, have a good chance of scoring with worse clean sheet odds for their opponents. You can use all these tools for free here at Draft Hound, okay? So I think that basically Mitoma and McAllister are his favourites. Looking at that. Lovely. Anybody got anything they want to share captaincy wise? Let's go to the comments. Josh Bosch, thoughts on Iheanacho? I can't afford Watkins because I want Maddison 2 for the game in 28 and the double in 29. I think Iheanacho has looked really good recently. Let's have a look at his recent statage. Iheanacho, Leicester. Let's take our... Can we add him in there? Last 5 game weeks. You can see his total points is higher than all of Mitoma, March and McAllister. They are playing... is it Chelsea this week? Yeah, they're playing Chelsea this week at home. Who haven't been great, have they? But maybe they've turned a little bit of a corner. But I keep thinking that for Chelsea, to be honest with you. What are we? 20 minutes from deadline. Minutes, he's had more influence. ICT bonus points. He's had 6 bonus points in that time. 2 goals. 3 assists. Expected goals has been 2.6. Expected assists 2.1. So he's not overperforming. Shots on target. He's had just as many as these guys. Not as many as March though. March has had the most in the last 5 games. Touches in the penalty area. You'd expect that. It's just the same as everybody else here. But interesting compared to these players that everybody's bringing in. He's topping some of them. He's miscontrolling the ball. Bad habits. He's got more bad habits than everybody else as well. I mean, they've conceded more goals, but he's not up for clean sheet points anyway. Winning more tackles, blocks. This is where his bonus points are coming from. I think Iheanacho's a good shout if you can't afford Watkins. To be honest, Aritravo was talking about how well he was playing yesterday. You would bench him this week, okay? I think he's good for next week. Although they're up against Brentford, everybody's signing them. Good little player, good little player. Maybe consider Evan Ferguson. Looking at what we've just looked at in the on that tweet from FPL Go. Where is it? Top of the there he is, 9.4 predicted points this game week for Ferguson, and has the best odds of getting an attacking return. So over these next 2 game weeks. So I think Ferguson would be my shout, to be honest with you. Out of those, out between Iheanacho, Watkins and Ferguson, that would be what I would do. You please make your own decision. Let me know what you do. Obviously, you wouldn't want to bench Ferguson this week. Wouldn't be for next week. If it's the next game week, hold on. Just hold on, basically. I suppose unless you want a wild card. There's me. Man of Steel in goal. Go on, can you beat the Man of Steel? You've already got Mitoma, Martinez, Punyan for the triple up on Brighton, sadly. Okay, mate, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think Iheanacho's a good shout. I do. I think he's a really good shout. I'm assuming you can't afford Tony. Oh, you actually meant Iheanacho was... So, Aritravo talking about... Here we go. Thank you for contributing, sir. You actually meant Iheanacho was terrible in the last game versus Southampton. Should be sent to prison after that horrendous performance against the Saints. Haha. Okay. If that makes you halt the brakes on, then possibly. He's done well in the last 5 game weeks, though. As we've just seen. Who should I play? Zaha or Saka? I took a hit for Zaha. Who have Palace got? I mean, Saka got straight away is what trips off the tongue, falls out my mouth, to be honest with you. Who have Palace got? Away to Brighton. No, for me, you know, he's major troll material, Wilf Zaha. Yeah, how come you took a hit for Zaha? Was it to free up funds? I wouldn't have personally. I've got to have to see your whole team for that. But if you've taken a hit, you think they're going to perform, I would imagine. So put them in. Put them in. Keep sucking on this thing and it doesn't do anything. Did I change it or what? Too busy chatting. Right, let's run a last minute captaincy poll. Captaincy. Tony. Natoma. I'm thinking it's March or McAllister. I don't think anybody's considering anything else. Even though some of these players have got great fixtures. I'd love to have the balls to go for like a Salah or Rashford or Haaland this week. I really would, but I haven't. Because I think they've got returns in them as well. Massive ones. Right, polls up. Captaincy, Tony, Matoma, March, McAllister. Balls isn't swearing, is it? That one's not working either. I know I've just opened one up. Oh dear. Too busy chatting. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I've been sent a dud. I haven't been sent a dud or the battery's knackered. There we go. I'm going to have to break the seal or something. That's it. If you get time, watch the Southampton vs Leicester game highlights, please. Ian Nacho should have scored 4, to be honest. Does that mean he's going to return this week? Or does that mean he's had his good spell? He seems to have a good spell once a season, doesn't he? Is that over? Is that over? Do join the league if you're watching and you haven't joined already. Do subscribe to the channel. That would be lovely. I was 17 away from the big 300 earlier. Let's see if that's increased. Be nice to get to 300 subscribers. What are we on now? 289. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed during the stream today. If you haven't, then please do help me out. Can you get me to 300? I'll put the highlights up here, but I don't know if I get told off for that. I don't know if I get told off for it. Altaz Danani, subscribe. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anybody fighting between players? Who to choose? Yeah, let's take Iheanacho out of there now. Points is where it's at. Some were tops those in the last 5. Last 10. Sorry, March. He did have that one massive return, didn't he? He did have one massive return. sort of when the Matoma March debate was out and about. Obviously not been as good since. I mean, he tops it all season, but he's played the whole season. New manager as well. Per 90. Can we do last 5 per 90? Matoma, top stat. Last 10. March. Last 10 game weeks. That's pretty much post World Cup, isn't it? In fact, it is post World Cup. We haven't looked per 90, have we? Attacking. McAllister. More shots on target per 90. Higher threat rating. Not as many goals though. Maybe they're coming. I would quite like to have McAllister this game week, to be honest with you, but then he's not available for next game week. Almost feels like a waste of time in that sense. If I was going for McAllister or March, I would be going McAllister, personally. Will March play both matches? Your guess is as good as mine. Yes, is my opinion. Welcome to the channel, Fires. Don't forget to subscribe. Hello, I can't say that name, I'm afraid. I do apologise. Will Anthony start the game? I mean, he's looking more and more a regular starter, isn't he? So I don't see why he wouldn't, unless he's going to get a bit of a rest and Sancho comes in. Slightly weaker opposition, you'd think, against Southampton. So it is possible some of the United players get a rest. They've played a lot of games recently, but they're also on the chase, and one more loss and it is definitely, there is no title race. I mean, they're still going to have to struggle because they've got 11 points to gain on Arsenal, albeit they do have a game in hand. But yeah, I think at the moment Erik ten Hag plays his best team until he believes that the league is gone. So yeah, I'd say I think he starts personally. Am I crazy for captaining Salah this week, Maroon? No. We were just looking at this. If you weren't on the stream, we were just looking at this tweet earlier, which was highlighted by Aritravo. What was it called? Let me just, if I do it via, what was they called? Fantasy. Oh God, just followed them. Let me just look on here. Fantasypedia. We look on them on Twitter. This is really good. Fantasy. There it is. Their chances conceded slide or thread here. Liverpool have a whopping. Where are they? Liverpool towards the top. Bournemouth, Liverpool. Says Salah non-owners look away. Might be another painful week. Bournemouth have conceded a mammoth 115 chances down their right flank. Okay, and we all know that is where Mo Salah plays. Okay, so he could get a massive return this game week. And also, when we were looking at the tweet from FPL Goat, here we see that in terms of attacking return odds this week, what the gamblers are saying is basically Salah has a 65% chance of return, alongside basically very similar to Tony, Haaland, Kane, better than Matoma, not as good as the main man at the top, Evan Ferguson. Okay, so take from this what you like. But those are some of the things. If you are, I've just joined the stream last minute for a bit of deadline. Do get your questions in quickly. If you want me to give an opinion on them, bear in mind it's just an opinion. But yeah, no, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy. The thought has crossed my mind. I'm not brave enough, though. I'm not brave enough. And I don't know if that's because I've got the channel and I'm worried that it'll affect me massively. One thing's for sure, I was debating selling him, but I can't do it. Liverpool scored 9 against Bournemouth earlier in the season. Though they've not been the best away, but Salah looked absolutely back to his best last game week. And Liverpool have a 4th spot to chase. They're chasing, so they need they need their big players to step up. And it was almost a case of, was that the step up last week? So no, I don't think you're crazy for captaining Salah this week. If you do it, good luck. Yeah, be interested to see how it goes. Don't forget to join the league, sir. League description, play Martinelli or Saliba. For me, I always go for the attacker. And he is, possibly going to be playing in that central role as well. Whether Fulham can score, though, that's the question. For me, it's always attacker over defender. I'd rather go, as you can see, I tend to play 3 at the back. Attack wins. And for me, midfield wins at this moment in time as well. Who did you captain in Man U versus Liverpool game? Last week I captained Haaland. But I played all my players, and I kept hold of Salah for that game as well. Could have made a transfer last week like lots of other people, but I thought there could be a return there. As previously said, I think Liverpool have upped their game against opposition. They really want rivals, basically. They certainly upped it against Everton. They upped their levels. They upped their levels immeasurably last week against Man United. I think everybody expected United just to turn up and just like the 3 points be handed to them on a plate. They got a nasty shock. Reality check, and that reality check I think puts them in good stead for this week against Southampton. I don't think there'll be any resting on their laurels this week. What are we on? 3 minutes from the deadline, guys. Time to make your final choices. Any questions, do get them in. Any questions, do get them in. If you're not a member of the league, you have the opportunity to win the I Love FPL Cup. Sit and drink out of that. Remember how much you really loved it. It's the Who Really Lovesit League. Are you a Man U fan? No, sir. This is an Everton badge. This is my Everton Cup. This at the back here is Goodison Park. And very soon I'll be able to walk down to the water because I live on the Wirral. 2-minute car drive away, maybe a 20-minute walk. I'll be able to walk down to the water at Eastern Ferry, and I'll be able to look over the water, and well, I can see it now. But Bramley Moor Dock Stadium, whatever they're going to call it at the end, will be facing me. No, I'm a massive Evertonian. That's why I play FPL, so I can enjoy football. honestly, it's been tough. It's been tough, but it's a new match day and anything can happen. Anything can happen, and that's why we love football. That's why I love it. Which is a bit more predictable for Everton, mine, but there we go. That is football. What we got now? 10:58. 2 minutes till deadline. Am I going to do a sudden bottle it and make a mad transfer? I don't think so. Trippier's on one on the chopping block, but he's got some lovely fixtures coming up, and I think his fortune is going to turn. He's got Wolves and Forest. As we've already seen, Wolves concede a lot down their left-hand side. I liked your channel. You are amazing. Oh, nice one. I wish I knew how to say your name. Can you type it in English for me? Ramlo, do let us know. Or Remlo, sorry, my eyes are not the best. Martinelli or Saliba, who'd you go for? But yeah, I think Trippier's fixtures are on the turn, and I don't think they can play as badly as they have done. They've been on a poor run of form. They've won 2 games since the restart. 5 games without a win. They have just played City and Liverpool, so this is a chance. They're at home, playing against Wolves. Is it the evening game? Is it the evening game? What are they playing? 4:30, so the Super Sunday kickoff. Yeah, Trippier will be back for that. The deadline's passed. Good luck all. Thank you very much for letting us know. Let's have a look. See if my team... Yes, the team is done. Thank you very much. Fans Chef Hamza. Lovely. I shall try to remember that. You're Arabian. Well, welcome to the channel. Love it. People joining from all over the world. Aritravo from India. We've had people from New Zealand, people from Australia today. Lovely to have you all on board. Guys, I'm going to stick around for 5-10 minutes. This is a opportunity, just in case FPL Focal come and does a raid again. Lovely to see. Like it went mental on the channel. So this is an opportunity. Ask me anything. Ask me anything about football, anything about my life, anything you might want to know. I reserve the right to say I'm not telling you. But yeah, if you'd like to get to know me a little bit better, what have you got planned for this weekend? Anything good? My wife is now out with Triple B. What's up from New Zealand? I'm getting ready for it. Football. Wife is out with the children at a kids' party. Yeah, so that's just happened. So it's a day of footy for me, mate. We've got the Liverpool early kickoff, 12:30. So I shall be looking forward to that. What other games have we got today? We've got my Everton on at 3 o'clock. So I shall be listening to that on the radio because I live in Britain and we don't share the phone. The raid's coming, nice one, hope so. Do make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're raiding Focal. Thank you very much, Mr. Focal. Great to have that on board. I am targeting today the 300 subscriber mark. So if you haven't subscribed already, let's see if we can see that go. I'm on 289. That'll be lovely. That'd be lovely. I say, have you got your bus team sorted for next game week? Because that's where we're at now. This was me. This is me as it stands. I'm going to be selling Salah next game week. I'm bringing in Maddison. I don't have Tony. I went for Steele as my seller, my option this week. Haven't gone heavy on the Brighton or Brentford, so different to everybody else. Do subscribe to the channel, please. That'd be lovely. You get to, we'd like to share things on this channel. And if you win my league, you get to win the I Love FPL Cup. Yes, because the league is called Who Really Loves It. Let me see if I can give out a few shout outs to a few people here. I was going to give a lovely purple hair handed waves there. Igbegalawa. Sorry, I just ruined your name there, haven't I? I do apologise. FPL fellas joined in. Nice one to have you on board, mate. Rajveer Singh, how do? Andrew Lamb, thank you for joining. Jill Bailey, new sub, thank you. Very much appreciated. Loving the new subs. I'm now on 339 subs. Is that right, Focal? You are a legend. Focal to focus. Here we go. Happy days, mate. Have a great game week, Focal. Don't know if you're still watching me or if I'm live on your channel right now. You've probably said your goodbyes. You with the 300 sub, Campbell. Nice one, mate. 328. How can we get? I really want to get I really want to get to just over the 500. That is the big target. 120 odd of you watching now. If everybody hits that subscriber button now, I'll be really close. Congrats. Cheers, Focal. Howdy, partner. Howdy to you too. Subs going up. Just sub 2. Thanks very much. Welcome to my shed. So I do my streams from the shed. We call it the focus shed. Well, this is where all the work gets done. Where I get a bit of peace and quiet. Got a couple of young girls. Anybody wants to ask any questions right here, right now, they can. I have Matoma captain this week as well. I can see you in there, Pav. Nice to see you. Local subscriber. Happy days. Ask me anything, guys. I didn't go for Tony, by the way. I ummed and ahed. It's been a morning of pain. It's time to relax now, because what will be will be. Gonna go and get myself another coffee in a minute. I want to go and have a look and see my subscribers. Let me just refresh the page here. What are we up to? What are we up to? Drum roll. 344. Thank you very much. Favourite drink? I mean, I would have said tea or coffee, but I give up sugar this week. Yeah, from Monday. So they just don't taste as nice as they used to. But favourite drink, probably milk right here, right now. If I'm going with an alcoholic beverage, I'm a fruity cider man these days. But I do like a Guinness, got to be honest. Come on the Blues. Yes, FPL Charlie. Well, have some of that, my friend. What's my ranking? I am currently, don't all leave me right now, I'm currently 1.7 million, but I had a nightmare start to the season. So I'm currently 1.7 million. I was 4.7 million going into the World Cup, so I've had an okay sort of return since the World Cup. I've finished 16k in the World Cup, and I just think I revisited my strategies and the way I think about FPL. So, second chance league, I'm 250k, which just shows that since the World Cup, I have played a lot better. I live on the Wirral, so I'm a Welsh boy, living on the Wirral in Merseyside. Thanks for asking, John. You deserve the best. Thank you very much, sir. Favourite crisp flavour? Cheese and onion every day of the week, mate. Every day of the week. You're going to be hoping Brentford don't do well. I am, mate. I actually think Brentford don't score today, but then, as you can see, blue tinted glasses, 345 subscribers. Thank you to everybody. Were you Green Arrow last week? Yes, I was. 65 points last week for me. Can I go previous game week on this? FPL team, players, no, live. While the game leads up, no, I can't go, but 65 points last game week for me. Poor choice of Chris, Mark, Goldbridge, Stan. Oh, really, mate? Cheese and onion? Top of the range? Always. And I have to say, I think it has to be Walker's. You're an Everton fan. Unsubscribed. All right. FPL, no need for that, mate. We let you have David Moyes. If it's FPL fella West Ham fan on Twitter. It's just because we're both fighting relegation, sir. You love a pint of milk. Me too, mate. It is probably my favourite drink. Thanks for the wishing of Green Arrows moving forward, iClock. Do appreciate. Dave Brown, previous year's ranks. Mate, I am not an elite player, hence why I call myself FPL Livesey Lovesit, because I love it. I'm just trying to get better at it. Can I bring them up on here now to show you? This is Premier Fantasy Tools, member of our league as well, is FPL Popper, Mark de Gavalio. Great to have him on board, has been for a couple of years. But no, last year, to be honest, I struggled to play because I was busy running hotels. You're a Brentford supporter? Lovely. Have you ever danced with the devil in a pale moonlight? It depends what dancing with the devil in a pale moonlight is to you. But yes is the answer on several occasions. I'll let you figure out what that means. But the devil and many others appeared, shall we say. Right, I'll leave that one there, sir. Where is... Mini League Team Analyzer. Analyze my team. My best rank ever is 150k. I'm not a channel, by the way, that comes on and tells you who to buy. That's not what I do, and who you should and shouldn't sell. I'm more about a collaboration, working together, trying to improve together. No, I've never danced with Duncan Ferguson in the pale moonlight, but I wish I had. He is my hero. Yeah, if I had to go for anybody, he's my hero, mate, from back in the day. I don't know if this will load because the game's updating. We'll see. I don't think it's going to. But last year I did poorly in the end. I think 1.6 million. But in all honesty, I didn't play it seriously. Like I say, I was running hotels at the time. Coming out of COVID, it was carnage. Couldn't get staff. I was working all the hours God sent. The last thing I had time to do was read about channels. Whereas now, recently I've had to give up work, so I've got plenty of time to be able to look at this. Due to health reasons, I'm okay. But yes, this is my go-to. This is my, I don't get paid for it, but if anything, this is my work. This is the thing I get to try and build and be good at, if you like. Do you watch La Liga or Champions League? Not very much. I don't really watch La Liga, to be honest with you. It's not what it was years ago for me, but I don't watch it, so maybe I shouldn't comment like that. Champions League, I'll watch if there's a good game on, to be honest with you. If I'm really sort of drawn into it. Pretty much if there's... I was going to watch PSG Bayern the other night, but I never did in the end, to be honest with you. It's not a massive thing for me. No, this ain't working, is it? I'm not getting up all my league rankings from previous years. But do have a look at Premier Fantasy Tools if it's a new website to you. It's part of my FPL toolkit, which is in the comments below as well for people. Welsh Kiwi, lovely. Good stuff, mate. Yeah, it was good stuff. That's what brought the dance on. Don't want to say anymore. You never know who's watching. Yeah. Any more questions? Anybody else want to ask anything else? I am going to go and have a look at my bus team. What's that? Current top 10k info. That's game week 27. So I did bring in, let's have a look. Let's not go to me plan. Let's go to see how it looks currently, because anything can change next week. I do have a plan in place to sell Salah, bring in Maddison, and then upgrade Greenwood to Tony. Thinking about the double game week ahead. So that is sort of my plan for next week, but anything can happen. We've got another week until that comes in. But as the team stands, let me make this transfer on here, see if it still lets me do it. I brought in Steele because I thought that was an upgrade on my team over Kepa after much deliberation. So that's how my team looks going into this game week. So next game week, this is the bus team as it stands before any transfers. Feel free to send your bus teams over. Follow me on Twitter at FPL Livesey Lovesit. You have to get a bacon roll at the town. Nice one, David. Go and enjoy, mate. I think I've got some bacon in the fridge. I might go do the same myself. How long have you been playing guitar? I'm a sort of a late comer to the guitar, Dave. I started in my sort of mid-30s. I'm in my mid-40s now, so 8 or 9 years. And I'm probably every guitarist's sort of like nightmare is in that I don't know many of other people's songs. I'm one of those that sits there and I just like to play, and what comes out, comes out. Got a few chords in my locker. Got a few of my own tunes as well, to be fair. I like to compose my own stuff and play my own stuff, but I can just sit and play it for half an hour and not know where that half an hour's gone or what I've just played, to be honest with you. But just enjoy it. Because I love music. I do love music. I love listening to music. Latest sort of discoveries. Coulter Wall, if anybody likes a little bit of bluesy type music. Nice deep voice. Reminds me, a totally different genre, but a voice that reminds me in terms of its deepness and its baritone level to Leonard Cohen in his later years, who I was listening to in bed the other day. If you've never heard You Want It Darker, the album by Leonard Cohen, and you love music, you're missing out on an absolute masterpiece, by the way. My opinion. So Greenwood, I might as well put him on the pitch for his 1 pointer for next week. Bueno looks like he could be back by then. FPL Focal, you're off to Glastonbury in the mate. Is it your first time? Because I've been to Glastonbury 3 times. Let's see if you can beat some of my. Let's go with. We'll look at this in a minute. We'll look at the team in a minute. Let's go with best gig. Best gig then, seeing as we're on to music. Best gig for me. Okay, I saw David Bowie at Glastonbury. That's up there. I saw Brian Wilson on the main stage at Glastonbury. I saw Ian Brown at Glastonbury twice. A massive Stone Roses fan I am. And sort of like they brought me through my youth. I'd seen you still watching, folk. I do appreciate, mate, you sending people over today. I've gone from 289 subscribers to what are we on now? I was on 345. Has that increased since? So 347. So can't thank you enough, mate. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. Time of your life. Yes, it's a totally different world, isn't it? I don't think anybody can. I've been to other festivals and I don't think anybody can appreciate what Glastonbury is compared to all the other festivals out there. Once you've sat at the Greenfields at 5 o'clock in the morning, particularly the Sunday morning, yeah, because there's some messy people around there. Goodbye, mate. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate. Yeah, that is something else. Those Greenfields, 5 o'clock in the morning. A great place to be and some absolute characters. Do you listen to Iron Maiden? Deceptive Banana. I wouldn't say they're on my list of like regular go-tos, to be honest with you. A couple of tracks that I sort of remember from back in the mid-80s. Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter sort of like come straight to my mind as well. Do you listen to Iron Maiden? Wish you lived in the UK. You're missing out. Yeah, where you're from, I Clark. You might have just told me before. Was it New Zealand? I don't watch NBA. No, it's not for me. Basketball. It's not my thing, sir. Hamra, was it? I can't remember. Forgotten already. That's with everybody else joining me. You didn't give me a name. So Hamza, fans chef Hamza. Do you do cooking for a living? I've got a little idea. Tell me what you think about this idea. Because I need to make a bit of money. I'm struggling with arthritis. It tends to come and go. So I need to make some money. Somehow, when my wrists are doing well, basically. And because I've got, obviously, lots of obviously I've got 20 odd years catering experiences working in numerous different. I've worked in Frankie and Benny's, private hotels. I've worked for Beefeater. I've worked for some sort of like nice hotels, if you like, sort of like fine dining restaurants as well. So I've got a lot of stuff in my bag. I ran fish and chip shops as a teenager. So I was thinking about contacting my local community centre, which has a sort of commercial-ish type kitchen in, setting up a Facebook site, and when things are going well, contacting the community centre and saying, when is the kitchen not being used today? Because I can't use my kitchen at home. It won't be food safety rated or anything like that. Thinking about asking, can I use their kitchen? I'm just going out and buying, wrists are good today, so right, I'm going to make, I don't know, 50 portions of chili con carne, for example, with rice in a meal, put it up on Facebook as a first come, first served type of thing. What do you think to that as a business idea? Or just a little I'm hoping to like not make too much, like make a little bit on each one. So it's not just about the making money. It's for what's given me the idea is I'm cooking some meals and I'm putting one in the freezer for my mum, because what I've got, she's got, but like years down the line, so she can't cut any vegetables or anything like that. I just thought for, you know, meals on wheels type thing, I could deliver them into sort of like my local estate here in Eastham, on the Wirral. So it could be good for me. I could make a little bit of money, you know, maybe £1 on each one sort of thing. You know, if I can sell 50 meals, that's 50 quid for an afternoon's work, which is better than a kick in the you-know-what. What do you think to that? Good idea or not? Yeah, Mr. Pacers knows you don't like NBA since you don't know what my username meant. Oh, right, okay. Is that right, mate? Not my thing. I just spend too much time on football. You love fans, Chef England. You love England. Yeah, it's all right, mate. Wales. Sorry, everybody from England. In terms of the country as a, I mean, Great Britain. Let's look at the island as a whole. It's a great island to be on. But as a Welshman born in Wales, I've got my Welsh flag just up on the ceiling, just up there. Do you want to have a look around the shed? I'll never take this camera off. I don't know how far it stretches. Let me show you what you're missing out on. So, Dixie Dean up there. That's from Glastonbury, that wooden picture. We were talking about it all. It's from a site called Wooden Stuff. So wood and then N in sort of like with apostrophes either side. Another guitar. That's the pub I used to run where I met my wife, the yacht. There's me. My mum did that. Sort of like pictures of me. Behind me, how much camera have I got? Bit of an Everton picture going on here. Bit of a mishmash. Got that for Christmas off my mother-in-law. Another Everton picture here. Can't see that because the sun's shining on it, but my wife did that one for me 1 year when we had the rubbish badge. Little sign there saying the shed where things get done. Dartboard. Stone Roses disc up there. Talking about those earlier. What else is going on in here that you can't see? That's pretty much everything that you've... Oh yeah, there's my Welsh flag I was just talking about. So this is my shed. Like I say, I've put foam all around the edges. Painted the ceiling, put a new roof on it because it was rotting, to be honest with you. Painted the walls, put a bit of got carpet on the floor. As you can see, a bit of a tough wearing carpet. And there's all, those are actually my old football boots, gloves and shin pads from when I used to play a bit of lunchtime football for the Royal Oak Hotel in Betws-y-Coed, North Wales, which if you've never been there, what a beautiful part of the country. Meals on Wheels, great idea. Thanks very much, mate. And I think I can do it because I do see things on Facebook. There was what sort of gave me the idea, inspiration for it. There's an ice cream fella around near us, and every so often he just puts on Facebook where he's turning up, and he gets a queue that's running down the road. And I think if it's something that people subscribe and they start to like my food, and I think I'm a pretty good cook, to be honest with you, without wanting to sound big-headed or anything, but like I say, over 20 odd years experience in catering, got a few recipes up my sleeve. Yeah, I think I can do something there. Solly for captain. FPL Josh, one of 350 subs. I'm at 350 now. That's a great number to be on. 349, someone's left. Was that you, FPL fella? Just because I support Everton. Right, I do think it's time to go now. I'm going to make a move. Thank you very much, everybody who's joined me. Thank you to everybody who came over from Focal. Very glad to have you on board. Do join me throughout the week. You must hit the notification buttons. I don't make videos. It's all live with me because it's all about the interaction and the collaboration with everybody else. But thank you to anybody who stuck with me throughout. Much appreciated. Hope we all have a great game week, and I shall see you soon here in the shed. Take care. See you later.